the title of the video, your girl is back again with another story time. If you're new to my channel, hey girl, hey. If you're a returning subscriber, I don't have to say anything because you know what's up, I know what's up, we know what's up, and that's on what? That's on what? That's on period. And Mary had a little lamb. As y'all can see by the title and the thumbnail, your girl is back again with another story time. I feel like I haven't done one of these in a while. And actually I haven't told y'all a dating story time in a while. So let's go ahead and get into it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, so let me give y'all the backstory before we get into the story time. So this has happened to me a few times. Y'all know when I first moved to Houston, I used to live on the dating apps. I used to go on a bunch of dates and I would meet like 95% of these men on like Hinge, Bumble, Plenty of Fish, Black, all the apps, girl. And prior to that, I have homegirls that would be on dating apps as well. And Houston is a big city, but it's not a huge city. A lot of the people that are on those apps, they're still on those apps. And there will be a few times where I will follow somebody or follow the guy that I matched with on a dating app. And then I will see that he's my friend is a mutual, or an acquaintance of mine is a mutual, and anytime I would ask a friend about the person, they'll be like, oh, I met him on this app. Or like even some of y'all, it's been times where y'all have asked me about guys and y'all live in Houston, and I'm like, oh yeah, this was a person that I went on a date with from a dating app. Like, it never fails. That happens like clockwork. Hey y'all, so I'm editing right now and I just realized I probably confused the hell out of y'all. So for example, say I just moved to Kansas City and I don't know nobody in Kansas City. You don't know nobody in Kansas City because you just moved there and you don't follow anybody in that city. I typically do not follow people that I don't know. The only people I follow that I don't know personally is y'all. Like, if y'all follow me, I will follow y'all back. But say you follow somebody off a dating app on socials and then you notice that he's following Asia. Asia just moved here. You don't know her personally. So that's what I mean by I would follow people online, and the one or two mutuals that we do have, I know for a fact that you met them from talking to them on dating apps, because this has happened to me like clockwork. And I'm only saying this and I know this for sure because, like I said, prior to moving to Houston, I didn't follow anybody here because I didn't know anybody here. So 9 times out of 10, I just know that you also followed this person here because you met them on a dating app. I hope that makes sense. I hope I didn't confuse y'all even more. But my homegirl went on a date recently with somebody that I went on a date with. I don't even want to, it was 2 dates, y'all. We briefly dated a couple years ago. So this is the person I'm giving y'all the story time about. So before we get into this video, let me go ahead and read y'all the tweets, because I just want to go ahead and set the tone. I just want to go ahead and preface the video by saying this is the type of person that we're dealing with, okay? And I am going to put a screenshot of these tweets on the screen so y'all can see, like, let me find the first tweet or whatever. It's not even a tweet, y'all. This was on, I believe, Threads. So the first tweet was, and mind you, haven't dated this man in over 5 years, and this is still how he's tweeting in 2026. Not 5 years, y'all, 3 years. It's been 3 years. So thread or tweet number 1, date cancel. She doesn't have her own LLC. Okay. The first date needs to be at least $300. Let me give y'all one more. Let me see if she sent another one. Not gonna lie, I deserved a lot of effed up things that was done to me by my exes. Don't let the law degree fool you. I just learned that beans are a starch and not a vegetable. A woman deserves another chance if she cheats. Men don't. I'm sure y'all can probably guess why it didn't work. We didn't even make it to a 3rd date because this man was, let's just get into it, girl. I'm not gonna do no name calling. So boom, at the time, like I said, this happened a few years ago, so I do not recall if this was either Hinge or Bumble. I don't know. It was one of the two of the apps. We ended up matching on there, and I just remember in his bio picture, he had a suit on, very professional profile. It was honestly given a LinkedIn profile, y'all. This man made his occupation his entire personality. If you ever dealt with a woman or a man like that, you know how annoying those people are. Like, imagine you meet me and I be like, I'm a YouTuber. I post videos online. I'm an investor. Like, imagine if y'all met me and that was my personality. Like, I hate people where they're not bigger than, like, they're nobody outside of their occupation. Like, I get if you were a doctor, okay, like if I went to school for 6 years and I'm a doctor, you best believe I'm introducing myself in non-professional settings as, hi, it's doctor. Like, it's doc. Of course, because I earned that. But, okay, y'all. Well, I was about to say, he was a lawyer, so that definitely does make sense. But at the same time, it was too much. But we'll get into it. So on his profile, it said entrepreneur. I think he was an attorney, and we'll get into that later. Attorney, investor. Um, it was some other things on there, but everything was under the lines of investor, real estate investor, things of that sort or whatever. Very professional profile, very short and sweet. It was really clean, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. I looked the man up on LinkedIn, and his LinkedIn pretty much matched his dating profile, and he was attractive. So we end up matching on the app. Immediately in the app, I was just curious on what type of law he was practicing, because he didn't really explain that. It literally just said that he was a attorney or a lawyer at the time. I want to say that he was okay. He put that he was an attorney. I just wanted to know what type of law he practiced, y'all. This man sent me back a dissertation. It was 7 paragraphs. Like, I just wanted to know if you the people that sue people, or if you're the type of person that defends the people that are getting sued. Like, which one are you? I just wanted to know what type of man I was dealing with, because that would have let me know, and that would have told me a lot about him. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't recall what he said, because like I said, he sent back like 7 paragraphs. It was so long, so like it was just so drawn out, y'all. So we're communicating, doing small talk, and at the time, I believe I worked for Oracle at this time. It was very brief, y'all, but I was telling him about my occupation, what I did. For the most part, y'all, social media, I do marketing. That's like my main thing, social media. And then some of y'all know I own a travel business. Shameless plug, follow Official Travel Babes on Instagram. I'm gonna link it down below. But yeah, y'all know what I do. And at the time I didn't have a travel business. I did do YouTube. But y'all, YouTube is a passion. It's something that I do on the side. This is not nothing that I would say that this is my job. I don't look at YouTube as like, oh, I'm clocking into a job. This is just something that I do on the side to supplement my income, because I do have like other things going on. So at that time, I told him the company that I was working for, we were talking about that, and he actually immediately, within that first little maybe 2 to 3 messages going back and forth, he was like, oh, my client actually sued them. And fast forward, y'all, if y'all don't know what Oracle is, they actually they laid off a whole bunch of people because of everything that's going on with AI. So it's a lot going on with them. But at the time, the company was doing well at this time. Like, they weren't laying off a lot of people, but he claimed that his client used to work for them, and he was suing the company. He had told me this long drawn out story, and at the time I was working for the company, so I was just like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. So I'm thinking I'm getting like some insider tea. He's telling me all of this stuff. It was just very drawn out. We probably was on the app for like no more than 2 days before I gave him my contact, and we started texting. Within like the first maybe day of him having my number, he was asking all the right questions, like what do I like to do, what do I like to eat. Keep in mind, I told him, y'all know, if you are OG on this channel, you know that my favorite food is seafood. Like, anything that came out of the sea, that's my food. Like, anything I could put butter and some Cajun seasoning on it, if butter and Cajun seasoning go with it, that's my type of meal. So I told him seafood. We're just doing a whole bunch of small talk. And, and y'all, I just recall like the first red flag was he asked me what my shoe size was. And I am 5'5" and I wear a size 9. So for a woman, I feel like I have big feet. So I told him, well, it depends on the shoe. So I'll say 8.5 to a size 9. Like, a 9 is really closer to my size. So I told him I wear a size 9. And he was just like, okay, like, what's your favorite color? Tell us my favorite color. He asked me all of these questions. Like, y'all would have thought that he was about to subpoena like a shoe company, because he was getting all the details. Like, everything with him, it kind of just gave like, I'm a lawyer, and it was just too much. But girl, tell this man my shoe size. He asked like what type of feet I liked. Am I a white toe type of girl? Not feet. What type of style of manicure and pedicure I like? Am I a white toe type of girl? So you would think like, okay, this man is gonna send me money to like get my nails done, or like, you know, he's about to purchase me shoes or something of that sort, because he was asking a whole bunch of questions. And I have dealt with Dusties in the past that will ask questions but will never follow up with anything. But y'all, his questions was very abnormal and very detailed. Like, it was just like the stylish shoe. Are you a heel type of girl or a flat? Like, are you a stiletto? Like, he was asking all of the questions. So I'm like, okay, like he's trying to see what type of shoes I wear. And then y'all, after all of that, the first red flag, he asked me for a picture of my feet. And at the time, I was just like, because I can't lie, y'all. I do not have pretty feet. Like, God couldn't give me a cute face, a body, yada, yada, and feet. Like, and God said, okay, there, we're going to have to humble you. Like, we're not giving you cute feet. So I do not have cute feet. So immediately it was like, ugh, yuck. Like, why are you asking me about my feet? Like, he wanted to see my feet. And I don't think it's weird. Y'all know there's men that are into, they have feet fetishes, or even if they're not into feet, they want to date a girl with cute feet. Like, I be watching dating shows sometimes, and I would see a lot of men, they would comment on women's feet. Like, that's just a thing. Men are attracted to feet. But at the time, I'm not a part of the cute itty bitty small feet committee. So I was just like, no, I'm not sending you a picture of my feet. And he was just like, you didn't seem like the type to, but I thought I'll ask. And I'm like, maybe you'll get to see my feet, like, with whatever shoes that you purchase. He's like, shoes? Purchase? I didn't purchase you any shoes. And then I kind of cringed because I was just thought he was insinuating that he was going to get me shoes because he was asking me so many questions about these shoes. So at the time, I don't think, because I would have definitely unsent it. If this happened today, I would have unsent it. But at the time, I don't think iMessage had it where you can edit or unsend messages. This was before that iOS upgrade, y'all. So I'm cringing and I'm like, damn, I might as well not even reply, because this man did not tell me that he was getting me shoes, but I just assumed because he was asking me all of these questions. Fast forward to our first date, and I don't even really want to call this a date because I told him that I was going to an event. There's a few run clubs in Houston, and at the time I was trying to meet more people, y'all, because you know what they say, like, your community and your circle is the type of people that you're going to date. Like, the places that you frequent, those are 9 times out of 10 where you're going to find your person. So I end up telling him that I was joining this run club, and he asked if he can join me. So this was quote unquote the first date, but I wouldn't really consider a workout a date, y'all. So fast forward, we get there, and I remember I parked, and I told this man that I was parking, and he asked me if they had valet. Mind you, y'all, we're at Herman Park. If you in Houston, you know where that park's at. Very chill. Do they have valet? Do they have valet? That valet to park a car to go on a run? What? So I was just like, I don't know, like, this is my first time coming here, but that was another thing that threw me off. Like, he is so pretentious. He like to act like he's more than what he is. Like, what do you mean, do they have valet? What? But I digress, y'all. I continue. So boom, park. I wait for him. We meet up. He has this gear on, y'all. I have on my cute little set. It was more of a walk, y'all, because at this time I wasn't like, now, your girl, now, let me see. Okay, ain't get my steps in yet today, but your girl get her steps in. I don't play about my steps, but then 2 miles, 2 to 3 miles a day was a lot for me. But so we didn't really do the run, y'all. We did the walk. We did a walk with a cute little jog in between. Maybe every 5 to 10 minutes we did a little jog. So we're walking, we're talking. The entire time, this man is telling me about one of his clients. At the time, I'm not going to mention who the person was because I think he's a liar. But he told me that one of his clients was a very well-known celebrity or whatever. He was defending somebody that was a celebrity. And this is how I call him in a lie, because he told me, like, remember, when people lie, they cannot keep up with their lies, y'all. So we're running. He's telling me about this client, and again, y'all, I'm thinking I'm getting some insider tea because I'm like, who he getting sued for $2 million? That happened? Like, that's crazy. And then another thing, as a lawyer, that's a profession where outside of your profession, you still have to be professional. Like, I see lawyers and people online, and they have social media accounts, and they do talk about like clients and stuff like that, but I feel like it's a law that prohibits you from talking about your clients. But he was telling me all of this man's business. Don't know how true or not it is, because it's probably public information, so that's probably why he didn't care. But he was spilling all the beans about this man's case, and he was just saying, if I win this case, this is how much I'm going to be making. And keep in mind, he was throwing out numbers. He was saying that he had this man on a retainer. So I was already doing the math in my hand. I'm like, okay, with these numbers that you're giving me and all these cases that you're talking about, and I also saw the law firm that he said that he worked for, y'all, very big law firm. So in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, you're probably just like an average lawyer. You're probably making around, 150 to 200K a year. But when he started telling me about this celebrity client and throwing out all these big numbers, I'm like, okay, so this man has to be a millionaire because you're throwing out these type of numbers. And even then, I do think when people throw out numbers, when it comes to like money and stuff, I feel like that's something that should be discussed with like close friends, family, like people in your personal circle, but not a woman that you just met on a dating app. Like how you just met me last week on a dating app and you're already telling me about these type of returns and stuff or whatever. So nonetheless, we finished the run, and at the time, y'all, this meal was just a joke. We literally finished the run. At the end of the run, he was like, oh, I'm about to get ready and go to I'm about to go to Equinox. And at the time, I didn't know that Equinox was a gym. Mind y'all, you have to keep in mind, I'm from a very small town. I moved from Orlando to here, but prior to living in Orlando, y'all, I was in Tallahassee. I'm from Ocala, very small town. We don't have all these luxurious gyms and stuff. So Equinox, in my mind, it was a spa. That's the only thing I knew of Equinox from. So I'm like, oh, you're about to go get a massage or whatever? He's like, oh no, I'm about to go to the gym. This was like just my warm up. I'm about to go to the gym. You never heard of Equinox? I'm like, oh no, they don't. I don't think they have them where I'm from. Like, I've never heard of it or whatever. He's like, oh well, let me show you them. Y'all, why does man go straight to the website and clicks on like the pricing and stuff, and he's showing me that the gym costs like, I think it was like $300-$400 at the time a month or whatever. And I didn't say anything like about the membership, but he went directly to the membership page. When you want to show somebody something, why aren't you going to the freaking pictures, idiot? Like, why aren't you going to the pictures? He goes directly to the pricing information. That's like showing me an apartment complex, and instead of showing me the pictures, you show me the pricing. Like, why are you showing me this? So he wanted me to see that was his gym. And another thing, I parked closer to like he parked further away. I parked there. We were directly pretty much in front of my car. And he kept trying to get me to walk with him. And I think this is when he wanted me to see his car, because he mentioned the whole valet thing. Like, he wanted me to see his car so bad. But I don't know. It just doesn't sit right in my spirit at the time for me to walk a man to their car. Like, why would a man want me to walk him to his car? Again, very pretentious, y'all. But he wanted me to walk him to his car. He didn't flat out say that, but we passed my car. And once I realized we passed my car, I was like, oh, I'm right here. He's like, come on. You don't want to walk? You don't want? We just walked. We just did a 5K. Not really, y'all, but come on, we literally just walked. What do you mean, do I want to walk? Why are you trying to get me to walk to your car? As a grown man, why are you not trying to open my door and walk me to my car? It was just weird. But nonetheless, y'all, fast forward to, I want to say, I think it was no longer than like 2 weeks in between from the first time that I officially met him at the park and from the time we went on our first date. Keep in mind, y'all, he picked the place of the first date. All I told him is that I like seafood. Typically, it does not make sense to go to a seafood boil type of place on a first date. So I was not expecting that. I honestly was expecting him to choose like a fine dining restaurant. And when I say he researched, y'all, that man researched, investigated, examined, subpoenaed the damn menu. Because when we got to the date, well, let me back up. He ends up choosing Joey Uptown. If y'all been to Houston, I don't know if they're considered fine dining, but it's upscale. It's nice. I think their prices are reasonable. We end up going there. He asked me if I wanted to valet my car. Mind you, I mean, Joey's is nice, but it never gave valet my car. Definitely, we were also going during the daytime, y'all. It was in between happy hour, to be exact. And I think that's why he picked that time. Like, it never gave valet a car. Nonetheless, I get there. I always show up to my dates early because, believe it or not, y'all, I do have anxiety. Like, when it comes to like first dates, I'm always very quirky and nervous and just anxious about stuff. So I would show up to my dates early and make sure I look good, get there, find a parking. Like, I don't ever want to be the person that's like late to a date unless, this is third, fourth date. I get a little comfortable, but at the beginning, I don't want to be that person. So like I said, when we get in there, this man is, when I say you would have thought he was still in law school, because he was scanning that menu up and down. I never seen somebody look into prices this hard. Like, it was a lot. When the server came, she's like, can I get you guys anything to drink? And I am a talkative person, y'all. The server was a guy. I'm very talkative. Like, I still do this now to this day. When I go out to eat, I always ask my server, definitely if it's my first time there, I always ask, like, what do you like? And I have been told that I can be a little flirty. It's not intentional, baby. It's just my aura. So I'm like, I'm like, the guy asked me, can he start me off with something to drink? If y'all know me, y'all know I love sweet tea. So I'm like, I would like sweet tea, but is it sweet tea or is it just sweet tea? And he was just like, it's sweet tea, it's good. I said, no, that good. It didn't sound confident. Like, would you possibly feel like you might get diabetes after this? Or like, what type of sweet tea is it? He's like, no, it's just, I would just say it's more tea, but I can bring more sugar. And y'all, the drinks there for tea, it was gonna be like $6 or $7. Like if it's that type of sweet tea, I don't want it. You know, I'm not gonna have to put my own sugar in it. So I'm like, no, I don't want that. So I end up just getting my usual, y'all. I end up getting Moscow. And then when it was time for him to order, I don't remember what he got. I really don't recall, but he ordered his drink. He asked the guy about like what size the question was. He asked the guy what size the cup was, y'all. He started asking cross-examination questions. He started asking lawyer questions, and it was just giving me the ick. Not that he already always brought up his job. Like, he would post things on social media. Exhibit A. Keep this in mind. Just beat the case. Questions like this, getting out of black trucks, posting stuff like this. During this date, this is when I started to figure out that he was a liar. He was saying at one point that he was studying for the bar. And of course, I didn't want to look like I was not listening, so I didn't even question it. But I'm like, how are you posting? Because at the time, I'm thinking like, okay, maybe he's actually just a lawyer and not an attorney. Because if you're a lawyer, you can give advice, but you can't actually like represent anybody. But if you're an attorney, you can represent people. Like, you can actually be in court or whatever. So I didn't want to, because at the time I wasn't sure, but later I obviously still followed him on socials. So then I was able to see that he was actually saying that he was representing people, and it started coming back to me. He said that one of his clients was a big celebrity. So how are you representing people, but you haven't taken a bar test? But at this time on the date, y'all, I didn't say any of this. I didn't combat it or question it because I wasn't really sure, because it was still early on. It didn't make sense until later when I talked to my friend. I'm like, okay, it makes sense. Fucking liar. But anyway, the man comes back, the server comes back, and he starts asking all of these like really weird questions. And he was just like, what size salmon is this? I have never heard anybody ask. I've heard like the size of the steak, that you know how they put what type of steak it is, how many pounds, ounces, you know, they put that on there. He starts asking what type of salmon is it, what size salmon is it, do you think this drink is really worth $18? Like, y'all, the server was exhausted when he started asking all of these questions. And I also probably was exhausting the server, because if I haven't been somewhere before, I start asking questions as well. But my questions are normal. I'm not asking if the freaking salmon before it got cooked, if it was on a diet or what type of food. I'm not asking these type of questions. I'm just asking what's good. Like, I'm keeping it very cutesy. So I asked the server, like, what is like is the steak here good? Like, I'm asking questions. He's like, yeah, everybody gets these. Make sure you get, he told me about these, what do you call them? The spicy bites. He was like, yeah, get these. These are really, really good. It's like this crab dip sauce or whatever, y'all. They so good. I dream about that appetizer. So he was telling me about stuff or whatever, but I'm just asking, like, is it good or is it not good? How spicy it is? You know, normal questions, not investigation type of questions. That man was exhausted. Then he had the nerve to ask me if I liked the server. And then we got into this whole conversation about money and finances and stuff. And you know, that's the things that he liked to talk about, because remember, he's an investor. So I was just like, no, why would you ask if I like the server? He's like, you got flirty eyes. Like, you come out very flirtatious. And I'm like, I've been told that before, but like, we're on a date. Why are you asking me if I like the server? Like, what? And at the time, I remember he was kind of triggered, although don't know why he was triggered, but once he asked me if I liked the server, I'm like, no, I wouldn't. I think I said I wouldn't date a server, y'all. And at the time, that was my mindset. Like I said, I used to want to be a server, y'all. Still do. I would be a server now. I told y'all I did bottle girling, like just something to do on the fun time, but I wouldn't want to date a man or like be in a serious situation with a man that was a server, because I'm an entrepreneur. Anybody that works for themselves or works any type of 1099 job, it be up, down, up, down. I would prefer my man to have a base pay with commission, or just a salary. Even salary jobs, you sometimes work more than you actually work. Like if you're an entrepreneur, I feel like you work 24/7. I feel like, I mean, you have days off because you make your schedule, but at the same time, the money be up and down, up and down. And he was just like, you don't see these prices? I'm sure they get paid very well. I'm gonna tip him very well. He kept mentioning that throughout the date or whatever. And my thing is, are you a server on the side? Because why are you so combative in trying to defend this man? I just said I wouldn't date a server. Now you asking me questions. They make a lot. My best friend is a server. She's been a server for honestly, she's been a server for 5, 6, 7 years, and she works at multiple fine dining steakhouses and things of that sort. So I know that they can make a lot of money, but I also know the downside of just having a 1099 and getting paid very minimum wage on slow days. I understand that. So I explained that to him. Then he started going into all of his investments and money. He's like, my portfolio was like this and that. He was just going through all of this stuff. And I'm just, at the time, y'all, I had long-term investments, but when it came to Bitcoin, crypto, day trading type of things, I was very ignorant. I didn't really know a lot about it. So now that I'm tapped in, a lot of the things that he said, it don't sense. It does not make sense. He was seeing a lot of stuff that just did not make sense, and it just sounded like he was just literally just boasting about himself the entire day, y'all. So finally, when the check comes, y'all, when I say he's examining that check up and down, for a person that's talking about the first date minimum $300, but a couple years ago you was examining the hell out of the check. So maybe he is big money now. Maybe he is. But back then, I just thought it was odd, y'all. He did pay the tab, but this is where it gets funky. After the date, he's like, do you want to go to a bar or something? I also didn't mind going drinking with him. So I'm like, we can go somewhere. Do you have a place in mind? He was like, my homegirl told me about this shop. Everything was deals. He's like, my homegirl told me about, I think it was, because I've been here before now. I think it's R.A. Sushi. It's a sushi spot, y'all. They have a really good late night happy hour. So he was like, they have $5 shots and da-da-da. So he wanted to go there, I thought, y'all. But really, this man really wanted me to see his car. He just wanted me to see his car, because valet brought his car. When they brought his car back, he had a BMW. And I'm just thinking, like, you over here acting like you about to file bankruptcy, or you struggling, breaking your eyes like this, looking at the receipt to pay the bill, but you're doing all this and you drive a BMW. Y'all, it just didn't make any sense to me. We did go drinking or whatever, and I end up leaving. He did take me back to Uptown so I can get my car or whatever, but we left on the most awkward turn, because when somebody gets drunk, they start talking and they start talking. He was telling me about a case, and like I said, this happened years ago. Can't tell y'all the ins and outs, the details of the case, but he was telling me about a case, and the man was wrong in this situation. And he was basically, he called the lady, his coworker, out of her name to me when he was telling me the story. And I just feel like men that call women bees or reference them as hoes, I was side-eyeing him, because when you got that liquor in you and the real you started to come out. But y'all, it was a mess. That was the last time. And then I'm not gonna tell no one else's story, because like I said, my friend actually did come in contact with this man, went on a date with him, and it was a similar experience where he just talked about himself, make his job his entire personality. It was girl, when I say we was tired, we was tired. We was tired. We can laugh about it now. It's happened a few times, and I just be like, all these years and you're still with the same mentality that you had back then, and you're wondering why you haven't found nobody yet. It's just too much, girl. But that's pretty much it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in my next story time. And if y'all want me to do more dating story times, I actually can do some, because they be coming back to me. I told y'all, when I was here, I went on a bunch of, when I was single, your girl went on a bunch of dates, and I have a bunch of crazy story times still, but I be trying to hold back on what I can tell and what I can't tell, just because some stuff, it gets better with time. It has to marinate. But don't forget to comment and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Mwah.